Good morning and welcome to the program Eye on Corruption, the Nigerian Situation, a program where we x-ray various political and social issues bordering our nation, Nigeria. Uh, Today, we are dealing on the topic government's insensitivity to the plight of Nigerians is sickening. Must we continue like this? This is a weekly program brought to you under the auspices of the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria. And we are reaching you live from multiple social media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And of course, our website, gcsdn.org. You can reach us with comments, suggestions, and concerns as we go along the program. Today, we'll be discussing the topic, government's insensitivity to the plight of the citizens. To be discussing this issue with me today is a host of other collaborators, and in the interim, we will bring to you these collaborators as we go along in this program. Nigeria is a country of about 206.1 million citizens with a gross domestic product of $1.1 trillion. The unemployment rate has been put at 9% and the inflation rate as 13.2%. Nigerians have found themselves under the leadership of a set of politicians that care less about the constitution they swore to uphold. Today, we'll be dealing on this topic, and I want to bring to your viewers a number of our collaborators. In the interim, just stand back and watch as we go along. Sit back.
Let's fight for our rights. Let's take this song together. Solidarity. Everybody. One more time, let's go! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! We shall always fight for our rights. Thank you very much, thank you very much!
Thank you and welcome back. My name is Jude Ehizefokale, a regular host of this program. The topic for discussion under this program, Eye on Corruption today, is Nigerian government's insensitivity to the plight of citizens. Nigerians have found themselves under the leadership of a set of politicians that care less about the constitution they swore to uphold. Chapter 2 of the 1999 Constitution has it that the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. But the government of the day has not lived up to its responsibility in this regard. The victims of the Abuja-Kaduna terrorist train attack are still in captivity after over 30 days. ASUU, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, the university's teachers' body, has been on strike for about 100 days. Leah Sharibu, a young Christian girl kidnapped by Boko Haram, has spent years in a terrorist den with no respite in sight. At this point, I'm going to bring in some of our collaborators and I will allow them to introduce themselves. I have here with me Mr. Esowawa Kester. Mr. Kester, you're welcome to the program, and I want you to quickly introduce yourself to the audience. Hello, Mr. Kester, are you with me? Can you hear me? Okay, while we are waiting for Mr. Kester to introduce himself to us, I'll go ahead and with my intro. Okay. As I was saying, Leah Sharibu, a young Christian girl kidnapped by Boko Haram, has spent years in the terrorist den with no respite in sight. There is rampant killing, kidnapping, and banditry going on unhindered. Unknown gunmen causing mayhem in the east. Bad roads everywhere. The socioeconomic situation in the country is nothing to write home about. We can go on and on. A government that is headed by a retired general seems to be clueless in solving these enormous security issues and social issues bedeviling the country. The economy is in shambles, and borrowing to fund the largesse of politicians is their stock in trade. Nothing is normal in our dear country anymore. Must we continue like this? This is the situation in a country that is blessed with vast human and natural resources, a country that is blessed with agricultural endowments, a country that is blessed with natural endowment, a country so blessed with human capital that just needs to be developed and enhanced. The government's insensitivity to the plight of the people is sickening. What do we do about this? How do we come out of this quagmire? How can we begin to organize to ensure that the status quo does not remain, to ensure that we live like the other nations of the world where rule of law prevails, where social justice is in place, and where social security and the security of lives and property is paramount to the government of the day. Politicians come and go, but the country remains. The citizen must organize. The citizen must continue to do what is right. The citizen demands what it needs from the government, and they get the kind of government they desire. It is only the citizen that can change what they want in their nation. A few click of money bags cannot continue to determine the affairs of the nation, the affairs of the downtrodden masses. We all need to stand up and begin to organize and begin to do what is right and begin to speak truth to power and begin to demonstrate that we desire and deserve to be led like the developed nations. Politicians cannot just steal us dry and still continue to intimidate the teeming population of the country. We are at the crossroads. The basic necessities of life are nowhere near any of the suffering masses. The fight for the soul of the nation Nigeria is between the cabal, the few money bags, and the teeming population who are the victim of the system. Until we begin to act and play our role as active citizens of the nation, until we begin to do what is right, begin to educate ourselves so that we'll be able to make informed decisions about what is happening in our nation, begin to know what is happening in our nation, in your various localities, know what is your right, what is expected of your leadership, what role the local government has to play in the lives of the people in the community, what role the councillors in the community have to play, what role those in the National Assembly have to play. When you begin to get this knowledge, begin to acquire this knowledge, begin to probe into these areas and know the responsibilities of these offices, what they are supposed to do, then it is only then you will be better equipped with knowledge to make informed decisions and to begin to ask questions, because you cannot ask questions about what you know nothing about. So you begin to know what the role of the local government is, what the role of the councillors, what the role of the National Assembly and the state assemblies, what the role of the representatives in your locality is. When you begin to know this, unless you are able to know this, you have nothing to question about. You wouldn't have the right information that will guide you or aid you in knowing what to ask for and what to demand from these leaders. Nigerian government came to power, the current government came to power no matter to fight corruption. But it is seen as bedfellows to corrupt politicians. Those politicians that have joined their clique are forgiven. Even those that have been successfully prosecuted and justice served have been let off the hook by the same government that came to fight corruption. This is disheartening. This is sickening. And the poor masses are left to wallow in poverty, in abject poverty, in pain and penury, in abject negligence. Government sole responsibility is the welfare of the people. When the government is unable to meet these needs of the people, it should cease to become the government. It should honorably relinquish its power. For this reason, Nigerians need to be aware of their rights. They need to be properly acquainted with the rights, their civic rights, to exercise them to the letters. They need to be able to understand that a nation deserves the kind of leadership it can get. On this note, I just want to show you what is going on in the nation right now. Politicians that have stolen left, right, and center have spent so much money in their primaries. Some are dropping, some are collapsing when they are unable to clinch the tickets of their parties. For somebody who is willing, ready, and actually determined to serve the people, will you go at every length to look for money from every angle to pump into election? A case in point is one of the aspirants in Delta State, having lost an election, slumped, and collapsed. Just have a look at this. Sit down. That is the height of desperation in politics in Nigeria. For somebody who is genuinely ready and willing to serve, will you want to inconvenience yourself to the extent that you spend all that money? Now, what is the ulterior motive behind that? If you're spending so much money to buy votes, and at the end of it, nobody votes for you, then what do you expect? Because it's a game that people want to gamble into, and at the end of it, still have the opportunity to steal and steal and steal to recoup whatever you have kind of invested into the system. For a genuine person that is really committed to serving the people, the ulterior motive is not to go and steal. It's only those that have spent money buying votes that will resort to this kind of situation. The government is insensitive, the political class is insensitive to the plight of the masses, and this is not the kind of leadership, the kind of government we need in our system. This is not the kind of government we need in our nation, Nigeria, and Nigerians must begin to act, do the right thing, abandon corrupt, incompetent politicians who are only willing to clinch power and steal the nation dry. Nigerians have been shortchanged. Nigerians have been shortchanged so much, and we need a change in the status quo. Nigerians should begin to reorient their minds and values, begin to think about how to build a virile nation where no one is more equal than the other. A nation where peace and justice reigns. A nation where the Constitution is upheld by all. A nation where even the president is subject to the Constitution and is not above the law. That is the only time the masses can heave a sigh of relief and be happy. We cannot continue in this way. We cannot continue in this way. A Nigerian was hacked to death by terrorists, by religious fanatics, all in the name of religion. Do we, and the government up to today has not done anything to bring these people to justice. Rather, they are going with all the effrontery to unleash mayhem in the city, to burn down properties, to cause mayhem. And the government of the day is sitting in power, kind of passive. But the good thing, there are still very good people in the nation. Individual, the head of an organization, was able to come to the rescue of the plight of the family of Deborah that was hacked to death. Even though Deborah has gone, but the family has been kind of helped in a way that they've been moved to free house and given houses to be the landlord of such a house. I'll just show that one pastor of OPM, a church in Port Harcourt, volunteered to rehabilitate this family of the deceased Deborah, and the tears kind of have been wiped a little bit, even though the life of Deborah is more than any other thing. But it is a good gesture, and we need to commend this. But the government is there. The government has not done anything positive in this regard. This is not the first person that has been killed by fanatics. Nothing came out of it. But thank God there's somebody whose heart is kind enough to offer this opportunity to his family of Deborah. Sit back and watch.
Did transfer to Deborah. This is 14 flats here. So you rent it. Even tenants have started coming. Access to rent. I mean,
today there was here access for rent.
So you collect the rent. It's not your own. So you are now a landlord. Landlord and landlady.
Power.
I hand over.
Za ka ba kowane ta dama ka ba rai ya zama naka daga yau shi ne yake jama duka wurin ga haka shi ne yake
See, tell us the thing. Look at them. I've signed. So give me Bible. What Bible?
document da gida dake ana so a baka.
What you just watched there was a pastor of a church relocated Deborah's parents to a new house. Not just giving them a new house, giving them a set of flats to rent out and be collecting rent as the landlord and landlady. At least that alone can wipe away the tears of this family, at least a little bit, compared to the life of Deborah. But the government, whose sole responsibility is to provide welfare to the and security of life and property to the people, it's not doing enough to ameliorate the pains of the citizens. Deborah was only a student who was hacked to death by fellow classmates and terrorists combined together. But thank God, people of good conscience are acting. We still have people of good conscience in the country. And a big thanks to that very Nigerian who stood up to help this family. In talking about government's insensitivity to the plight of the people, we have seen how the economic situation of the country has deteriorated to the extent that Nigeria is now ranked as one of the poverty capitals of the world. Police brutality is endless. Bomb explosions in schools. The nation's Attorney General stole 80 billion and so much more. This is a country where the lights of Chino Achebe, where the lights of other big names in various spheres of life have tread. Now we have a country that is bedeviled with corruption, human or man's insensitivity to man, wickedness in high and low places, wickedness in government, corruption, institutionalized corruption in government, and the people are left at the mercy of bad governance. The people are left at the mercy of wicked politicians who care less about the citizens. How long can we continue to do things this way? How long can we continue to fail humanity in our quest for power, in our quest for money, in our quest for what I don't know? This is disheartening. The government of the day must sit up. The citizens must reassess their minds. The citizens must reassess their acts. Are they acting in accordance to their conscience as to what is wrong and right? How do we fix this situation? Nigerians are tired. Nigerians are hungry. Nigerians are angry. But there's a sacrifice to be paid to achieve an Eldorado. And that is for every citizen to rise, for every citizen to be committed, for every citizen to do his best. Do in your own little way, do what you can. Do the right thing. Question the authority when they go wrong. Do not be afraid. After all, we will all die one day. It is only a matter of time. Do not be afraid to question those in authority, even if it means at the threat of your life. This country belongs to us all. No one is more Nigerian than the other. The fact that people are opportunity to steal government money and in turn come and use that to intimidate the people, that is not acceptable. We must begin to question source of income. We must begin to question people's source of wealth. We must begin to question people's source of livelihood. We must begin to question somebody's pedigree. What have you offered? How did it get to this point? It is only then we can begin to value hard work. It is only then we can begin to value labor. There is dignity in labor. People must not be accustomed to this is the way things are done. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the program Eye on Corruption, and the topic today is government insensitivity to the plight of the citizens. We'll be taking comments from the comment section and see what we have. We got somebody, Mark Irabo. Good evening. Thank you, Mark. We must all begin to work towards saving our dear nation, Nigeria, from the hands of the political thieves, from the hands of the insensitive and wicked politicians. Nigerians need credible people in the politicians' table. Thank you, Mark Irabo. Back to the program. This program is brought to you every Thursday, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. And the program is Eye on Corruption. We x-ray topics that border on corruption and social political issues about Nigeria every Thursday at 7 p.m. I'm the regular host of this show. We invite you to bring your suggestions and comments and contributions in whatever way, and we will get back to you. You can reach us on multiple social media platforms, including YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and of course, the website gcsdn.org. We are engaged in multiple charity works to better the life of people and to enhance humanity. One of such projects we recently embarked on is the water project in Kwara State. I will, the people of Arodo community in Kwara have been out of water for time and time and time again. But there's a government in that state, and the people have no portable source of water. I will indulge you to watch and see how you can support this laudable project.
This is a community called Lara community in Moro local government area of Kwara State, Nigeria. This is their source of water supply. They drink from the pond like drinking from the gutter. They drink from the same pond with goats, with cattle, and with dogs. They take the water home to take their bath, to cook, and to drink. Sometimes they put alum before they could drink. Is this permissible in the 21st century? These people need our help. Please, the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria is calling on you to join us to drill a water borehole for these people. Let us do this. It is possible. This must not be allowed to continue. No. No. No.
To support this laudable project, there is information on the screen for you to make your contribution in kind to the UBA bank account there. Please help to actualize the dream of getting water to this Arodo Moro community in the Moro local government area of Kwara State. Thank you very much. The program again is Eye on Corruption. The program I will bring to you every Thursday at 7 p.m. Nigerian time. And today's topic is government insensitivity to the plight of the citizen. Must we continue like this? Nigerians and all like-minded people who desire change in our nation, speak up, do your part. Please lend your voice to the happenings in Nigeria to ensure that a very nation where no man is oppressed, where one is not placed above the other, where the constitution is upheld by those in power, where the rule of law prevails. That is the nation where we want, where the average man goes to bed with food in his stomach without going to bed with an empty stomach. Please, fellow Nigerians, lend your voice to the happenings in Nigeria and ensure we speak truth to power. Demand accountability from your local, state, and national representatives. Call them to questioning. Demand and ask questions about their stewardship in office monthly, weekly, or quarterly basis. It is your right to know. It is your right to know, and they owe you that responsibility to give account of their stewardship to you. Do not be intimidated by politicians who are supposed to be servants of the people who have turned out to be, the bosses of the people that they are supposed to serve. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Nigerians, fellow compatriots, this is a nation that belongs to all of us. One cannot be more Nigerian than the other. Before we go, I leave you with this expression about politicians.
Drinking well, making merry. Then this man was excited. He arrives, must choose where to go, whether heaven or hell. So this man was excited. He demanded to visit hell first. And he got into something which looked like a lift, and he went down to hell. When the doors opened, things were glorious. The devil had no tail. The devil had no horns. He even met his friends. They were healthy, eating well, drinking well, making merry. Then it was time up, and he then demanded to be taken to heaven. In heaven, the picture was nice. Angels floating around, good music, the Lord Almighty presiding and reigning supreme. Finally, he was asked, what's your choice? Because you are not going to be judged. There's no judgment today. Judge for yourself. He thought, these bishops have been telling lies and spoiling the name of the devil. The devil is a very fine man. He looks after his people. Now all these imams in the mosques making noise, saying Satan, Satan. This man is not bad at all. And in any case, heaven seems to be overrated. As a matter of fact, it's a bit boring. That was the debate in his head. So when the angel asked him to choose, he said, I have chosen that I'll go to hell, now that I've seen it with my own eyes. And the angel said, get into the lift. He got into the lift, and it took him down, but when the doors opened, things had changed. The place looked like a desert. His friends were wearing dirty clothes. They were eating from the garbage pit, and the devil was now complete in his devilish regalia. The tail was out, the horns were out, and he was carrying a whip. So he tiptoed towards the devil and said, excuse me, sir, you remember me, don't you? I was here the other day. You surely remember me. And Lucifer said, go to hell, I don't remember you. What do you have to say anyway? He said, the other day things were very nice here. Things have been changed for the worse today. What's happening? The devil said, I'm sorry, my friend. The day you came, we were campaigning. So, now,
well, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I bring the program to a close. Once again, share, like, and join us every Thursday at 7 p.m. Nigerian time to discuss the topic that comes up on a weekly basis on this program, Eye on Corruption. I'm your truly, Judah Isabel Holly, signing off. Thank you and have a good time.